All right, so we're going to engrave some text on this Leatherette with the xTool F2 Ultra UV. But first, we're going to jump into xTool Studio, run a material test, and figure out the proper settings. Okay, let's do it. Okay, we're in xTool Studio, and we don't know what settings to use. We've got our Leatherette strapped down to the base plate. And over here on the right, we're going to do an auto measure and auto focus. And since we don't know what settings to use, we're going to go on the right and select unknown material and look in the material library for the closest thing to it so we can get some base settings. So we have a leather selection, and this is the one we want, polyurethane leather. It's just a coated material to make it look like leather. Everybody calls it Leatherette. Select that, and then go over and grab a shape. Not that, just grab a shape. Any shape will do. Draw it out. Set it to engrave. And then you can see the recommended settings that pop up. So a power of 80 and a speed of 600. So we'll make that our max settings and then work up from there. So we're going to resize this rectangle to a square. I just want it to be a perfect square. And then of course we'll probably have to resize it again when we put it on our Leatherette. So you want to set that there, select it, and then go over to Applications, Material Test. So we know the settings are recommended here, so we're going to make that our max. So we're going to make a max power of 80, not 82, 80. We'll make a minimum power of 20. Max millimeters per second, we'll make 600. And a minimum power, or a minimum speed, we'll make 100. So then we have our columns and spacing, which is fine, and rows and spacing. So we're good. We're going to select Done. And then we can take this and resize it. Maybe. I'll leave it as big as we can so we can get a good idea of how this is going to come out and what the perfect settings would be. So when you click away, you get the individual blocks. So we're going to run this and see what we get out of it. All right, let's do it. Okay, I think we can work with that. I'll take a closer look at it, pick out the best settings, and then we'll set up some text. Okay, so right here, I'm going to go with 225 for speed and 65 for power. So let's go set that up. All right, we can get rid of this. We can remeasure with a new piece that I've placed in the laser bed. There we go. Get us a text tool. And we will just find us a font we like. All right, we got us some text. We'll set it to engrave. We're going to make that 65. And we're going to make the speed 225 We'll leave the lines per centimeter at 120 and the frequency at 40. Make this small enough to put on here. It looks a little crooked, but I think we'll be okay. We just want to see how it turns out. Hit process, start, and then we'll run it. All right, that was pretty quick. That took 23 seconds. And that looks pretty nice. Okay, now that we know those settings worked, we can save them as a custom material. But notice up top, we have the base material that we selected. So first, you've got to select that and go back to an unknown material, apply it. Otherwise, you'll make adjustments to that base material. Make sure that your settings are as you intended. The power of 65, speed of 225, so we're good. Then you can go over next to User Define, select Save Settings. You can name it. Mark it as custom or however you like. I like to put the laser I'm working with when I can pay attention. Because if you're using xTool Studio with multiple lasers like I am, you want to make sure. If you have material characteristics, you can add those. Whatever works. I'll just call it flammable material. I'm sure it is. Put something in there, and then down on material settings, you can type out all the settings if you like, or you can just put something in there. But you have to have something in there. You can add a photo here if you like. Click Submit. And note that your settings are saved up top here. If you click that, your settings will always be in My Materials. And if you want to make adjustments, you can. You select it. You can go up here and delete it if you like. Select it there. Delete button populates and you can get rid of it. Or you can select it, go over to Edit, and you can make adjustments to it however you need to. So that is about it. But once you figure those settings out, it's a good idea to save them. Okay, well, here's what we got. And it turned out really nice too. So material testing is the key to getting good results. And I hope I'm not boring anybody with all these material tests I've been doing lately, but I've got to do them anyway. This laser is new to me. I got to figure things out. So I'm sharing, and I got to believe there's somebody out there that this will help. I remember getting my first laser, like I've said many times before, trying to find information like this that would help me get started, and it just was not there, or either I couldn't find it. So if you have questions, let me know. I'm glad to answer them, or at least I'll try. And if you've done Leatherette on a UV laser, let me know in the comments. And if you've got some settings you're willing to share, please drop them down there. It'll help me and it'll help viewers that come across it. And if we share as a community, we can all get better together. So please check back often for new videos. You folks take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.